welcome to episode 16 of The Consistent Creator. And in this episode, I want to talk about the importance of succession. Yeah, that's right. The importance of succession. So, one of the key things why the wealthy stay wealthy is because they understand the importance of succession. That's right. Yeah, succession. They know how to keep stuff going. As I talked about before, you have these situations where generation after generation, you want to man, they just keep getting wealthier. Then you have these household names. It's because they understand the importance of picking a successor and training the successor to be adequate, for, to keep it going. You notice that Fortune 500 companies are great at that. They always have usually a lineage of CEOs to succeed the prior CEO to keep the company going so it don't fall apart, so that all of the members that are involved continue to receive those benefits. You should have the same thing in your family. As I talked about before, eventually somebody has to be the foundation, but it's also too like in the Olympics when everybody has to want to run a race. So, with everybody running a race, then that allows for the lineage to continue to keep going. I mentioned this previously about how a Chinaman had a business plan, and he had a 100-year business plan. And within those 100 years, they were going to have different succession plans and different leaders to help carry that plan out. Well, for personal finances, you should do the same thing. You should want to build wealth. You be the foundation, which I'm going to be the foundation in my family to continue to my son, and if I have any other future children. But I'm going to start grooming him as soon as he's old enough so that he could be my successor and to continue the financial legacy for my family. But what I'm really getting at is, if it's important for a Fortune 500 company, you should have that same thing for your family. Or even if you're a small business owner, if you're a business leader, you should be training the next people up to take your place when you decide to leave or when you decide to retire. But succession is very important. This is something that we don't talk about. This is a lot of times why you see a lot of dynasties, a lot of things go wrong. It's because they never really had a successor. And if they did have a successor, it wasn't the right successor or wasn't an effective successor. And that's how you can always tell the difference, between, you may say, well, the grandfather was great, but now the grandson is in charge, and, it's day and night. Why is it not running smooth? It's because, either the father didn't train the grandson properly, or the grandson decided that, hey, grandfather's old. Yeah, that was great back in the day, but now I'm in charge. So now that I'm in charge, I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to do it this way. Now, I feel that there should be some type of integration. Yeah, you want to stick to your own beliefs, but if you have a model that's already working, continue to use that model until it becomes inefficient. Then you can really, implement what it is, that you feel is necessary. But succession is very important. You want to keep stuff going. You really do. You really want to keep stuff going. But you got to groom them. You got to invest in them. But more important, they got to be open. In order to be a success, you got to be open. You got to be open to learning. You can't come in and feel like you got to be a know-it-all. But more importantly, too, if you are going to be appointed to a successor role, you got to really still understand the importance of teamwork. Because nothing gets done without teamwork. You can't just have this team of advisors and these operational people that have been with your family for years, then all of a sudden, because you get greedy and you feel like, well, we don't need them anymore, I can do all of this stuff myself. I've been waiting 20 years to get rid of all of them. Now it's my time to get rid of all of them. You're going to have stuff fall out of place. And then you really going to be miserable. And then if the dynasty, if the name of your family is really, really important, then you're going to feel like a failure. You're going to feel like all these other generations prior to you made everything work, and here you come because of your own insecurities and because of your own ego, and now all of a sudden you done ruined the succession chain. But you should be focusing on succession as much as you can in a lot of different areas. As a corporate trainer and as a high performance person, my past colleagues would tell you, I trained them up. I really trained them up because I didn't know what my future career opportunities were going to be. But I left a successor behind me so that the department wouldn't completely struggle. It's the same thing too. When I got to the department, I became a successor to the people that was in front of me. So succession is very important. Like I said, this is something that is not really talked about. But it's because everybody's always only thinking about right now. Let me have fun right now. And yes, we only get one life. And yes, we only get to come through this thing one time. But if we do it right, we won't just affect our lives, we will affect the lives that's in front of us, and we will affect the lives that are coming behind us. But just focus on succession. So I hope you got some type of value out of that. I mean, I know I rambled on, but I hope you got some type of value out of that on the importance of succession. But that's also really only if you're legacy focused, if you're legacy driven. If you're not legacy focused, if you're not legacy driven, then obviously this message is not going to resonate with you. But for the people that are legacy focused, and there are things in life that are more important than money, focus on succession. I really think it'll help to weld out your life knowing that you provided the next generation with a great leader or leaders to continue this journey that you started called life. So once again, leave your thoughts, comments, concerns in the bottom. I look forward to seeing another episode. Simmons out.